Hello and welcome back to the first chapter of Business 150. Business 150 is a class at Wisconsin Lutheran College, Introduction to Business. In this first chapter, we're talking about the foundations of business. So in this portion of the video, we are going to discuss the functions that most businesses perform, and secondly, the external forces that influence business activities. So first of all, the functional areas of business. In large and many even medium-sized companies, these entities are separate departments run by individuals that are responsible for those functions. In smaller businesses, some of these may be combined, but the functions still need to be done. It's just that they may not be individual areas of a particular company. So we have, first of all, management, the people who are responsible for managing the resources. Operations, the people that manufacture the product or service. Marketing, accounting, and finance. So let's look at each of those in a little more in depth. First of all, management. By definition, management is the process of planning for, organizing, directing, and controlling a company's resources so it can achieve its goals. Well, what does management organize, direct, and control? What resources? Well, you have inventory, the parts that come in that have to be turned into something. You have the finished product. You have the number of machines that a company purchases. You have the number of people that a company hires and employs and schedules time so that it can achieve the goals that it has. The second function is the operations area, and this is the area of the business that converts resources into the goods or services that it sells. For example, if I'm in a manufacturing environment and we manufacture motorcycles, well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy steel and plastic and gauges and tires and brake pads, etc. And in my operations area, I'm going to convert those resources into the different type of motorcycles that I sell. If I was running a restaurant, the area of the business that converts resources into goods and services would be my kitchen. I bring in different types of food, different types of meat, vegetables, etc. And in the kitchen, I convert those resources into the plate of dinner that I'm selling to my customers. That's what we call the operations area. Third, we talk about the marketing area. Now, many times people look at marketing or think of marketing as strictly advertising, but it's much more broad than that. As you can see by the definition here, marketing is the activity, set of institutions, and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have a value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. So here at Wisconsin Lutheran College, the marketing people are responsible for determining who might be interested in attending Wisconsin Lutheran College. They then prepare materials to send to those people. They set up calling efforts. They set up different types of advertising. Some of it is geared toward non-traditional age students in the evening, and some is designed to attract the traditional age student who's getting ready to graduate from high school. So the idea that the marketing folks live by is that what we need to do is communicate what it is that we have of value to potential customers. The customers look at the material, look at material from competitors, and then decide where to purchase their product. That happens here at the college. It happens when you go out to eat for at a restaurant. You decide which one has a better value for what you're trying to spend your money on. It happens when you buy furniture for your home. Again, so the marketing folks are communicating about the products and services they offer so that you can make a good decision as a consumer on what products or services you want to buy. Fourth, we're going to talk about the accounting department. Now, the accounting department is responsible for measuring, summarizing, and communicating financial and managerial information. So the accounting people keep track of what has been done. So it's kind of a in the past type of department. They keep track of the amount of sales we had yesterday, the amount of sales we had last month, the amount of expenses we had yesterday or last month. How many hours did we employ people? How much was our payroll? So what they're doing is they are keeping track of what has happened, and then they put those that information into different types of reports so different types of people can understand what it is they're looking for. And with all of these areas we're looking at, this is just a high-level summary. We have an entire chapter coming up in the future on this topic. And then lastly is the finance department. Now, the accounting people were keeping track of the money and what we did with it in the past. The finance department are more looking for what we need in the future and how we're going to obtain the necessary funds to do what it is we're going to do. Or if we anticipating having excess money or we do have excess money today, then the finance department is responsible for investing that money so that we can earn interest and get a return on that money, knowing that, well, maybe we might not need this money for a month or two. And so therefore, rather than having it just sit idle, we look to find ways to generate a return on that investment, some type of interest. Those are the areas within a company that have an impact on what we do. There are also a number of forces from the outside that impact businesses. So if we take a look in the upper left-hand corner, we have the economy as a whole. Now we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the economy here in a minute, but the economy is the activities that are going on around us. It deals with, are people spending money or not spending money? Are people being laid off, or are people getting good jobs? Are they getting wage increases? And so when the economy is good, customers will buy more products. And so the economy impacts us as business people. In the upper right-hand corner is the government. Now, the government has an impact on our business based on the regulations that they enact or the laws that are passed. So, for example, if the government is enacting a higher tax on a particular product, that's going to impact what people can buy or how much people can buy. If people on the other side, the government is lowering tax, well, then the people maybe afford to buy more of our product. And therefore, again, the government actions have an impact on our business. In the lower left-hand corner is consumer trends. So these are the tastes that consumers have, and as we all know, these change. And so for a period of time, this type of style of clothes is in fashion, for example. And then after a period of time, it goes out of style, and if I have a lot of that product, or if that's the product I made, my sales will likely drop. Why? Not anything I did, but because consumer trends have changed. In the automobile industry, depending on the government or the economy, and the price of gas, consumer trends will go from small cars, where people will be very interested in smaller vehicles, maybe electric vehicles and so on when the gas is high. But if gas prices are lower, consumer trends tend to say, I'd like a little bigger car. And so those trends impact what we manufacture as companies and how much we sell and where we sell it and so on. And then lastly, pressure to be a good corporate citizen has a force on our business. If we have traditionally had a lot of waste in our products, in our manufacturing. Pressure from society may make us change what it is we do sell. Back to the cars. When cars use a lot of gas, pressure to be a good citizen says we have to find ways to manufacture vehicles that get better gas mileage. And so these are forces that are not internal, but they are external to the company. The economy, the government, consumer trends, and pressure to be good corporate citizens all have an impact on our company. Now, we may not be able to control these areas, but we as managers or business owners or leaders of businesses, what we can do is adapt to them, and based on what's happening in these areas, help us to better run our companies. So there we had the second section of this chapter. We described the functions that most businesses perform: accounting, finance, operations, marketing, and management, and then the external forces that influence our business activities. Thank you, and join us for part 3.